to set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
I was there. I feel like I say this so much, but I was there. 1997. New Line Cinema. That logo was everything back in the day. I remember seeing it for Spawn, Magnolia, and this movie, Boogie Nights. 1997, Paul Thomas Anderson. A lot of comparisons to Quentin Tarantino, a lot of comparisons to Pulp Fiction. But Boogie Nights, like full Oscar run, borrowed a little bit from the world of Tarantino. Tarantino brought back or reintroduced John Travolta, right? One of the greatest comebacks in all of Hollywood history. Boogie Nights, it was Burt Reynolds. And Burt Reynolds was paraded around. It was this was almost like this template that we saw. Young, eager, insanely talented directors, filmmakers. They can grab someone that they liked from the past. As long as they were able to work, they could push them out there. Give them something spectacular, give them something crazy, and all systems are go. Boogie Nights, I bought that DVD as soon as it came out. I just watch it all the time. But it wasn't until 1999 when I saw Magnolia that I just knew that P.T. Anderson, Paul Thomas Anderson, was never going to go away. He was a lifetime filmmaker. I used to compare Magnolia a lot to Robert Altman's Shortcuts. I think Magnolia is like a film student's version of that. One of the best casts of all time. One of the best performances of Tom Cruise's career is in Magnolia. Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Like, it's just so much. C. Thomas Rowley losing the gun. If you guys remember that scene. Today's episode is it's titled "The Fall in Films of P.T. Anderson." I prefaced everything in two of my personal stories, experiencing early films of his. Now, I was always told 1996 Hard 8 with Gwyneth Paltrow, too, by the way. AKA Sydney, I think was the original title for that. The studio took it away from him, so on and so forth. He never liked it, never approved. We see this a lot. Let's compare him to Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino notoriously hates Natural Born Killers. Hates it. He says Oliver Stone butchered it. I don't know. I just think Oliver Stone made so many good choices with that movie. And I remember buying that DVD. Bought it from Best Buy. Soon as I saw it, I had to have it. I think it's a great movie. I think it's one of the best premiere movies we've ever had. I mean, we talk about it like Citizen Kane being the greatest premiere movie of a filmmaker. But Hard 8's there. And then 2002, we get something. So he's been in the game. 96, 97, 1999, 2002. Punch Drunk Love. Adam Sandler. A fun movie. Now, here's the thing. I say fun. I think I caught myself there. I say fun movie because I remember liking it. I think I've seen it twice. That's all I can say. There's no like true reflection that I have for Punch Drunk Love, but it's not a bad movie. And it's a movie that again was paraded around award season. I think when it comes to the scope of Adam Sandler's career, Punch Drunk Love like now falls into, we have Punch Drunk Love, we have Hustle, we have Spaceman. He's got a lot of these like dramedy movies, and he's he's made better ones than some of his contemporaries said. Like Jim Carrey, I'm looking at you. There's nothing of Punch Drunk Love that I can speak of. But it's a good movie. 2007. I mean, when Daniel Day-Lewis breaks his leg, there will be blood. When his son goes deaf. When he beats the preacher kid to death at the end. And I'm not just talking Milkshake, because the Milkshake thing went a little bit viral. You watch There Will Be Blood, and again, it's a very similar feeling that I had with Magnolia 9 years prior. This guy's doing things like it's amazing. And then I have this blackout period where I'm not into anything. I'm just into learning things, working in Philly, working on the career, working on avenues. I think at the time had a girlfriend. I wanted her to become my fiance. We didn't quite get there. But just growing. Spending little, not doing much. So I missed The Master, which is his L. Ron Hubbard Scientology movie. And I say that as a way to classify it. The Master, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix in that is like is such a lovable, like, loser, weirdo, but he seems lost. Philip Seymour Hoffman, there's a true power in his performance. Really good stuff. Wildly, like, period. It's just back to back, just like solid period movies for PT. But I caught it later. I caught that movie maybe in like 2000, maybe 2001, 2002. But I've seen it quite a few times. I mean, the mirror yanking your husband scene is one of the best. Come on. Recently, I did an episode of this, yet to be released. He recollabs with Joaquin Phoenix. And then we start to slip. Like, truly slip. Sorry about that, AKAPADers. Yeah, yes. We get phone calls around here. But I'm back. So, 2014. He's back with Joaquin Phoenix. Inherent Vice. So, here's the thing. This is genre here. Neo-noir, private investigator. Some mystery that he's unraveling. Joaquin Phoenix, with these back-to-back movies, two absolutely different characters. I mean, his range and where he is, it's unfathomable. The neo-noir genre, it's a bright light. It's a Venus flytrap. Every single director wants to fly into it, and they all think, I mean, we look at Ridley Scott, who I consider the greatest of all time. Black Rain, Blade Runner, upon release, right? It took Blade Runner decades, and no one even talks about Black Rain. Every single filmmaker wants to make a neo-noir masterpiece. It's their, it's their shiny object to chase, and it's a tough thing. So I've seen this movie maybe 3 times. There's a wonderful topless scene in the movie towards the end, but no, I can explain it. Like, the plot's just there, but it's mostly a Joaquin Phoenix like showpiece almost. It's like a portfolio piece. Just watching him stumble throughout the movie, it's incredible. I love the way it's shot, of the way it's looked. It just like you feel the heat of the Southern California beach. Very nice. But I would not ever recommend this movie. I wouldn't tell people that they're missing anything out. If people were short on time, I would say you can skip this one. you can skip this. You can skip Hard 8 when it comes to understanding P.T. Anderson. But yeah, we would never do that. 2017, we get the masterpiece. Not spoken about enough today. I'm fascinated with how P.T. made this movie. Like, what inspired, like, all the creative decisions around this movie. Like, how do we end up here? Daniel Day-Lewis plays a fashion designer. His wife is so much in love with him as he starts to wane his interest in her. She poisons him, and they have somewhat of a exchange, a agreement, in full knowledge that she tried to kill him. Is this a symbol of true love? It's right, like really good questions. I view a lot of how Brutalist robbed, with that shocking scene. If you guys know what I'm talking about, very much the same way. Like, how do we show love? How can we show love? How can we, right? How do we reconcile that in a as a character in the narration without having someone like crying and be weepy and stuff like that, right? It's Phantom Thread, in my view. We have Phantom Thread, There Will Be Blood, Magnolia, Boogie Nights. I mean, this is a four-headed dragon. Let's fast forward 2021. Licorice Pizza. I heard so much about this movie. I heard a lot. Bradley Cooper is the standout. I'm not even sure. I'm not, like, no interest in rewatching it. No interest in even pitching this movie. Maybe one day. I'll come around. Paraded around award season. 2021, maybe one of the most, the worst years in Oscar history. There was really nothing. Everything should have been shortened to, there should have been 3 movies, 3 films, 3 directors, 3 actors, three, like, all the nominations should have went down to 3. That's how low of a pool, like shallow of a pool there was when it comes to potential nominees. To me, again, the movie's a mess. It's not a must watch. But at this point, it's like the myth of P.T. Anderson emerges, where he's one of the preeminent premier American filmmakers. They're trying to build him up as a counter to Wes Anderson, whose films I just it's hard for me to watch a Wes Anderson movie. I don't have the patience for it anymore. But Licorice Pizza it's a mess. Around the same level as Inherent Vice, meaning it's there, we have a story, everything just looks good on screen, like it's just there, it's a well constructed movie. Do I care about these characters? And sometimes you just say no. And then we have he's coming out of the gate with Leo, one battle after another. This movie, I heard so many things I heard about this movie, and then when it dropped, the campaign around this movie, it should anger you a little bit, because this movie's not what they told you it is. People pumped the stock. You heard a lot too. You know, there's red flags when you hear the first 30 minutes. Right, the first 30 minutes, which is essentially the first act of the movie. You know, it's not, if you go by that metric, I think it's a BS metric. And it takes a little bit to pick up. But once it picks up after that 30 minutes, and you're just like, wait, what? I gotta watch a movie for 30 minutes? We have to say, this movie absolutely manipulated, called as all movies are now. That's how bad theaters are. If theaters were making bank like they were, like kind of what Tarantino says back in 2019, right? We wouldn't see some of these campaigns around these movies. Again, the Tron Eris stuff, very confusing regarding that movie. Superman, very confusing regarding, and Fantastic Four. This is the age we live in, my AKAPADers, and it sucks. But one battle after the other it's a mess. So we go 2012, 2014, 2017. Since 2012. Look, I love The Master. I really do. That's probably nowadays the movie of his I put on the most. I was just watching Boogie Nights a day ago, though. I Boogie Nights, for me, it just moves so well. I just love it. And again, I feel James Gunn completely borrowed the way how P.T. Anderson uses soundtrack with Boogie Nights. James Gunn, he saw that. He said, I'm going to do that someday. And we got it with Guardians of the Galaxy. And now it's like his shtick. And we're all tired of that shtick. P.T. Anderson seems to have lost a little bit of this mojo, this momentum. We can argue since 2012, he doesn't have a conversational movie. Just when it comes to what other people are saying. The film buffs here, we like The Master. We love Phantom Thread. But let's just look at it from another perspective. 2012, 2014, 2017, 2021, 2025. That's one half of his filmography. No one pushes Hard 8. So now we have Boogie Nights. No one talks about Magnolia. Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood. That's the guy. That's what the world sees. From my view, you can split his filmography in half. You have post and pre 2007. I think his golden period is 96 to 2012. And he's got Phantom Thread just thrown in there for the modern stuff, the newer stuff. Phantom Thread's fantastic, though. We will. So be on the lookout. A lot of these movies are pre-recorded episodes. They are coming separately for a little bit more detail. But on Wednesdays, we kind of focus on creators. We have creator-driven episodes. I haven't done one quite like this, where we really talk about how someone goes awry. Their career kind of swerves a little, and social media confuses so much of what's in front of our face. How many times can I talk in a platitude? But all right, AKAPADers. The Fall and Films of Paul Thomas Anderson. Still one of the best, just because he knows, he just has a process. The process is great.
Okay, that's a wrap.